Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is going to serve as a bit of a guide on how to make money trading between trading sites and OPskins. I'm making it now because Steam Analyst introduced a tool that's designed to make it a bit more time efficient, and I figure that there's going to be a lot of people trying it, so I thought I'd go through the basic principles behind doing it because it's very easy to lose money doing this if you don't know what you're doing. Also, it's not sponsored at all. I'm hoping it's going to be clear enough from what I say in the video that this isn't a puff piece, but I do think all in all this is a useful tool, which is why I'm talking about it. So we'll begin by looking at the tool itself. As you can see, there's 4 different price columns. One is for Steam Analyst, and one is for the Steam Community Market. For our purposes, we can pretend they don't exist, we're not worried about them. There's also a column for OPskins, and a column for CS Money. These columns we are worried about. Steam Analyst also says that they're going to add more trading sites soon. This is important, we'll get back to that. There's also a couple of columns over here. They're also quite important, but we'll get onto them a little bit later. So, how exactly does this trading work? Well, if we look at the little guide that Steam Analyst gives us, find items that will yield maximum profit, look at the OP to CS Money columns and the CS Money to OP columns, purchase your chosen items on OPskins and trade them to CS Money, sell the items you get back on OPskins, profit. Now, on its own, that probably isn't particularly helpful, so we should use a practical example to get it to make a bit more sense. The site actually does give a practical example, but it's a little bit optimistic, and by that I mean it's kind of in fantasy land, so I'm going to give you my own more conservative example of what you might realistically be able to do with this tool. These prices are imaginary, by the way. This is just illustrative, it's not real. Basically, let's say you see a field-tested AK Redline on sale for $6 on OPskins. You buy it, and then on CS Money, it's valued at $9 after their commission. So you put it on the bot on CS Money, and you get yourself a minimal wear decimator, which is also $9 on CS Money. The decimator sells after tax for $6.50 on OPskins, so you list it, sell it, and in the process you've netted yourself a 50% profit. Once again, I just made up those prices. This is just an illustration, but that's basically what you're going to be aiming to do in practice. So, what's the key to executing this in practice? Well, there's 2 primary things you need to be aware of. The first thing is understanding how sales commissions on these sites work and how it's going to affect the profit you make. Basically, to see any profit, you'll need to use the trading site as well as selling something on OPskins, and both times you do that, you'll incur a tax. Now, assuming you can minimize the tax as much as possible, so you've got an OPskins membership, so you're only paying 5% on sales tax, and you're getting the 2% discount on CS Money, between them they'll take about 8% of the value of your items. So the difference in the prices on the sites will need to be more than this for you to profit. Now, having to constantly do this calculation to work out whether you're going to make a profit or not is kind of annoying. And that's where Steam Analyst comes in handy, because on these 2 columns on the right, it'll show you what profit or what loss you're making when you transfer something between one site to the other. All you need to do is find an item where the profit going from OPskins to CS Money is larger than the loss going from CS Money to OPskins in percentage terms. And the relevant columns make that extremely easy to do, because it just gives you the percentage right there. You can see right away whether or not you're going to make a profit. Sort of. There's a bit more to it, but I'm going to get to that. Now, the site is incorporating the sales tax that you're paying into these columns, and the level of tax can be manually edited, but by default, it assumes that you've got an OPskins membership and that you've gotten the 2% username discount on CS Money. Now, the CS Money discount is free, so that's quite easy to get, but the OPskins discount costs money. Now, it only costs $6 a month, so if you are selling on OPskins a lot, it's a very good idea to get one, but it is still an investment, and that probably will be an issue for some people, particularly if you're using quite small amounts of cash. And without it, you're going to be losing about 13% to sales tax rather than 8%, which is a big deal, and it'll be particularly difficult to make profit at that point. So, this is an issue. It may be difficult to use this system properly at the moment unless you have an OPskins membership. There may be a solution to this issue on the way though, but I'll get to that once I finish discussing the second part of trading between sites, and this is the art of selling on OPskins. Because OPskins is a store rather than a trading site, things don't instantly sell when you list them. Well, I mean, there is an instant sell option, but that's at a considerable discount, so we won't worry about that. Now, the tool on Steam Analyst currently calculates the percentage for selling something on OPskins based on the lowest price currently on the market. And this can be misleading because often the lowest price on the market isn't representative of what the sales price you'll be able to get is. For example, let's assume I've taken something off OPskins, I've sold it on CS Money for 30% more than I paid for it on OPskins, and I'm looking to transfer the money back. So I'm going through here, I've scrolled down to the end to find some stuff that's got the right price range here, and I see the G2 Esports Inclusion Poker sticker, which is only a 16% loss when I go back onto OPskins, so that leaves me with a 14% profit margin. So I click on it to see how much it's actually selling for. So here we are on OPskins. I'll click on one of these to see what the price sales history is. As you can see, most of them are selling for about 40 cents or even slightly less. Despite the fact that, so Steam Analyst has just taken this price and given you a margin based on that, but as you can see, you're not likely to be able to sell it for that. You're going to be selling it for a few cents less. And it may still be technically profitable. I haven't done the maths, it may still be slightly profitable, but it's clearly not quite as profitable as it appears to be at face value. And not to mention, as you can see, they're selling quite slowly. You might be waiting a little while before you can actually sell these. And what you'll find is, if you go through a lot of the skins and a lot of the stickers that on paper look like they'd be good to sell on OPskins to make a profit, a lot of them are going to be like this. So it's important to check whatever you're planning on selling on OPskins and look at what they're actually selling for. Click through, look at the sales history, look at how regularly they're selling, the volume, and figure out whether or not you'll actually be able to sell at the price listed on Steam Analyst. Now, having said that, just because you have to sell a little bit under the price Steam Analyst lists doesn't mean that you won't make a profit. You may well still make a profit, you just need to be aware of what you're actually selling it for and what your real margin is going to be. It's also important to keep in mind that some items may take a while to sell. You can see how rapidly they're selling by looking at the volume per day on OPskins. That's also an important factor. Just because something's selling slowly doesn't mean it's a bad thing to use to cash out back to OPskins with. In fact, often items that sell a little bit more slowly will give you better margins. But do keep that in mind, because if you buy certain items may take days and days to sell, and you can't use your money to keep on trading in the meantime. So when you're doing this, you need to pay really close attention to what something is actually selling at an OPskins, not just the price Steam Analyst gives you, and also how rapidly it's selling on OPskins, because you don't want to be stuck waiting for ages and ages for a buyer to come along. Now, having been through all of this, it should be apparent that this isn't a license to print money. You need to invest in an OPskins membership, you need to be patient, you need to research what you're selling to make sure you can actually get a profit. And look, there aren't really any free lunches when you're trying to make money from skins. You actually need to put in work. However, I think once Steam Analyst starts introducing the prices for other trading sites, this may get a bit easier, because this will allow you to do the same thing between different trading sites, or at least trading sites that are using different algorithms to generate their prices. Sites that are using the same algorithms obviously aren't going to be much use because the prices will be the same, but most of the sites I looked at do have their own algorithms, so there may well be good trading opportunities there. The reasons why are pretty simple. First of all, trading sites have lower margins than OPskins. As long as you take proper advantage of the discounts, you shouldn't be paying more than 3% on a commission at any point, and maybe even less in some cases. Moreover, the transactions are instant, you don't have to wait for something to sell, so this will mitigate the risk of an item dropping in price while you're trying to sell it on OPskins. So I'm interested in seeing what this feature looks like. It could make doing this sort of stuff a lot quicker and a lot easier. And look, having said that, it could also mean a lot more people doing it and therefore more competition, so it may balance out in the end, but still, there's a possibility it's going to open up a lot of opportunities. What they are going to need to add though is really clear information about whether or not items are tradable on any particular site at any given time, whether or not they're overstocked, whether they're out of stock. This will be particularly important. Also, the current system seems to get confused by overpay on CS money for low floats, so hopefully that'll all get fixed, because I think for it to be a useful tool, it's going to need to have those things nailed down. It will also be interesting to see whether or not this has any tangible effect on the profits that trading sites are making, and whether they have to change their algorithms in response. Even though on paper you would be making this money at the expense of the trading site, in practice it may not necessarily work out that way, just because of the dynamics of how trading stuff back and forth works and things like that. The ultimate effect may be negligible, but we'll see. That'll be interesting as well. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.